Hi everybody, this is Jackie here with the Sexy Politico, and I need to talk with y'all. So, when I was on vacation for the last couple of weeks, visiting my in-laws when the Britney Spears court speech came out, and it was something all right, and I'm not going to be playing any clips from it. If you want to look it up, it's online in its entirety. It's about 23 minutes. But everything going on with Britney Spears is really bothering me as somebody who knows and loves people with disabilities. And I think we need to talk about it. And if you like what I do here at the Sexy Politico and you want to support us, you can support us here on Anchor or at patreon.com. Check us out there and also check us out on all of our social medias. Those of you who have been following the Britney Spears conservatorship, you don't need me to go into the nitty-gritty details of it, but here's a few things that we need to focus on. So Britney Spears had an apparent mental breakdown in 2007, 2008. I mean, at that point, this woman was postpartum. She had her close aunt pass away. She was dealing with a divorce. And man, I can tell you as somebody who went through postpartum depression myself, that's rough. And we don't know when Britney Spears was placed under a psychiatric hold. We don't know what diagnosis she has. A lot of people are assuming that she's bipolar, just based strictly off of Brittney talking about being forced on lithium, but we don't know this for sure. But what we do know is that Britney Spears didn't need to be placed under a conservatorship. Maybe she needed those 5150 holds, those holds where her family placed her in psychiatric care against her will, but she needed therapy, medicine, compassion, as opposed to somebody who was forcing her to go back to work 8 weeks after coming out of a psychiatric institution and out of rehab. And plenty of other celebrities have had public breakdowns, public drug-fueled benders. Do we remember Robert Downey Jr.? Do we remember the number of times he went to jail, he went to rehab, he walked in and fell asleep in his neighbor's bed, and he only ever lost his civil rights when he actually went to jail, as opposed to when Britney Spears, who was never charged with a crime, loses her civil rights, loses her ability to sign contracts, loses the ability to control her own money, and has been made to believe that she has lost complete autonomy over her body to make medical decisions over herself. This frustrates me to no end, considering that Britney Spears is not the only person in this world under a conservatorship, and a lot of these conservatorships are just as strict or even more strict with other individuals. The big difference between Britney Spears and most other people is that Britney Spears is bringing in a giant load of active income, while most people under conservatorships are not making active income. But what is the point of a conservatorship? Why is this tool a necessary tool? Which it is a necessary tool for some individuals and some families. Well, a conservatorship, or in some states it may be known as a guardianship, is a legal institution to help families in cases of dementia, somebody with a mental disability where they cannot vocalize or somehow communicate their own needs, wishes, or wants. And that can be very necessary, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of oversight when it comes to this. So when you take into consideration a conservatorship for somebody who is older, may have dementia, who could have a whole lot of money and could be taken advantage of, which we've seen plenty of celebrities who have been taken advantage of. But the question is, where is this oversight? Who is making sure that the people who are put under conservatorships are actually need to be placed under conservatorships? Because it doesn't seem as though somebody's paying attention. And when it comes to the Spears case, for instance, she wasn't tested. There was no, her father literally just filled out a checkbox, and then they turned her conservatorship from temporary to permanent because Jamie Spears wanted to make it a permanent conservatorship, as opposed to a judge saying, oh yeah, after this evaluation of Miss Britney Spears, then the conservatorship should be made permanent. It blows my mind how easy it was for her father to take away her rights. Now, in most states, as I've just said, it's very easy to put somebody into a conservatorship, but it's actually really hard and really expensive to get out of a conservatorship. What if for some reason you do need to get out of a conservatorship, or you want to? Your family placed you under conservatorship after an accident, and there have been instances of this. Your family placed you under a guardianship or conservatorship after an accident where you were on a ventilator, and then you wake up 3-6 months down the road. It is very hard for that conservatorship or that guardianship to just magically disappear. And even if the conservatee themselves and the family wants to end the conservatorship, because the judge has to, the line to prove that you were mentally incapable is, there's no clear set of guidelines, set of rules set up on this. While it is very difficult to prove yourself capable. And that's the problem. That is the problem with the whole conservatorship system. And what needs to be changed is, rather than us spending all of our time focusing just on Britney Spears, the laws need to change on conservatorships. They need to change nationwide. We need to have strict judicial oversight. We need to have, and that oversight needs to be about the money, about every single aspect of this conservatorship. And there needs to be a strict set of guidelines of staying in the conservatorship or leaving the conservatorship. And also, when it comes to Spears, for instance, we need to also take into consideration that there is no coercion being made from the that the conservator isn't blackmailing the conservatee to stay in this conservatorship, because there are some reports where it seems as though Britney Spears has been forced to say that she's okay in order to have the right to see her children. But we need to change the laws. We need more judicial oversight. And also, my personal opinion, we need to stop having the conservatee pay the legal bills for the conservators. And the conservators want to be taking care of the conservatees. They need to be able to pay their own legal bills and not be touching their money, because the whole point is to protect them and not to spend them into financial ruin. But that's just my opinion. What is yours? Again, this is Jackie here with the Sexy Politico podcast. Thank you for listening. If you like what we do here, you can support us on Patreon or here on Anchor. Just look for patreon.com/thesexypolitico, or you can find a way to support us here on Anchor. Also, if you like what we do, you can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Tumblr, Twitter, or our main website, thesexypolitico.com. Again, thank you for listening. Hope you're doing well. Stay safe. Stay sexy. Bye.